How was your Halloween, mate? A couple of nights ago.
It was good. It was good. I actually did. Funnily enough, I accidentally watched a horror film. I completely forgot that it was Halloween until I went out to take the dog for a walk. And I was like, why are all these teens roaming the streets? And then it dawned on me because no one in my street had really decorated at all.
Yeah.
And then I got home and there was a movie I had to watch, which I think we're going to be talking about later. And I was thinking about it afterwards. And I was like, I really should have watched Hubie Halloween or like a horror film.
That was my plan.
And then I did watch a horror film, so it was a win for me.
Can I tell you, our Halloween went off like I have never seen since I've lived in Canada, right? Like you said to me when I first moved into this new area, this is a very American type of street. It's got the European trees, it's got the footpaths and the nice gardens, and I said, yeah, it is. Well, it looked like a scene out of E.T. on Halloween for us. We stopped counting the trick-or-treaters at our door when it got to 100.
Wow.
And we estimate it went beyond 200. Like, it was... Like, I had to sit at the door. Sean, my son, had to do, like, 3 trips to the supermarket to top up on the lollies. We spent over $100 on the lollies, like, and ended up going from, like, your Freddo Frog types down to, like, just the fucking little pack of ones, you know?
Yeah.
And just constant barrage of kids, and it was the best fucking night ever. And next year, we're up in the ante. We're going all out for Halloween.
Well, I saw they still have down the street, and I do love this.
Yeah.
Much more so than Christmas. Christmas, I reckon, especially New Year's, decorations need to be gone.
Yeah.
Halloween, they can stick around for a while.
Well, they can, but I did take mine down last night. As you might have seen, I had a dead body in my garden.
Yes, I did.
And so we just, and some hazard tape to make it look like a crime scene. And
I just thought that was Sean.
The amount of people, we told him to get under it so he could jump out and scare people.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that said it looked like a real dead body, so we thought we better take it down straight away. And one little kid, he was like about 4, he just looked at me and goes, I thought that was dead. I'm like, imagine the trauma I'm causing these kids.
It is like your pet dog.
That's right. All right, let's start the show. G'day, freakazoids. How are you? Good morning, good evening, whatever bloody time it is you're listening. It's good to have you. This is Good Movie Monday, the podcast dedicated to nerdy cinematic ramblings. I'm Glenn Cochran. The beast from hell beside me is Ben Hellwig.
I was joking before the show, and if you're watching this on video, you can see what I'm talking about. That Glenn could wear me like the Krang suit in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That's how much KFC I've been eating lately.
Man, you don't have to point that shit out.
No, everyone can see it.
We need to raise
I like
that
the
laptop.
idea of, like, you know in movies where there's always like a Bible and they've hollowed it out and that's where they're hiding the gun and stuff. Like, you take off my shirt and it's just a gutted out version of me that you climb into.
We have a costume for next year's Halloween. In the making. Far out. Look, I'm glad you found us. If you're actually watching this portion of the show on video on our YouTube and Facebook pages, then go to wherever you get the audio podcast, because there's a whole other hour of the show left to go after we finish the video. So definitely subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. Maybe even share it with some friends. Do you want to do the rest of the social roundups while I catch up on my notes here?
Sure, you can just head to our website, goodmoviemonday.com, where you'll find all of our social medias, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the X's, the Spotify, which every song that I think is enough to get you from here to Sydney or here to
We've been talking about
Brisbane.
this, for a while now. We haven't quite actually calculated how far it'll get you.
How far it'll get you with...
We're still approaching 20 hours. I think we're almost there.
Yeah, right.
20 hours of tunes, bangers, and they're all movie related.
That's one good edging session for me.
That's right.
So what did you do these holidays, Ben? Well, let me tell you. It's like episode of The Simpsons where Skinner talks about getting trapped in his basement by the collapsed newspapers, and he did the thing with the basketball where he's like, see how many times I could bounce it, and then tried to beat that record. That's me with edging.
Well, now it all makes sense. When I road trip, it's got those little things on the side that go... It's because people that edge.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Don't get too close to that edge. Far out. Well, as always, we like to strive every week to have some kind of special guest on the show, an interview to promote something or just talk about in movies. And this week we've got somebody that I've had my eyes on their career for the last 20 years. And I was really chuffed to have a chance to chat with him. His name's Anthony Waller. He's the director of movies from the 90s like Mute Witness, American Werewolf in Paris. He made a movie called The Guilty. and his new one is called The Piper with Elizabeth Hurley, and I had a chance to chat with him. So that was like, it was almost like a bucket list thing, just because, you know, he is a name I have followed for so long, and I'd wish he made more movies than what he has. But we'll be chatting with him, so stick around for that. There will be a video version of that on Thursday night on our socials as well. Other stuff we've got coming up, as usual. Jarrett Garn is along for his PE class. We talk about this week's physical media, and there's a shit ton of 4K releases.
It's a big week. Big week.
Yep.
You'd be forgiven to think that Christmas is coming up. There's that much stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm. Stocking stuffers for sure. Terrific TV Tuesday. Ben's little hell child. Looking forward to that. We talk about TV of all things.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one. I'm actually excited to talk about this one this week.
Me too. I actually, the TV show I'm going to talk about is one that I said I'd be talking about, I think, 2 weeks ago. And just through circumstances,
is this
haven't.
Is this one I should have caught up on?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
You
no.
definitely should have caught up because it's great.
I didn't, but I will. Boneheads from Kentucky are along for their Bonehead Weekly Fun Size segment. They take over the show for 5 minutes, and I believe this week they are talking about, if I'm not mistaken, movie princesses. Which
we'd like to bang.
Yeah,
No.
it does not fit into the show in any way, shape, or form. But that's kind of the beauty of it. It's a little bit.
I like it when the Boneheads do a XXX We'd Like to Bang episode. Yeah. It's always weird. Chad always picks something and you're like, I never thought anyone wanted to bang that. But Chad does. And James just likes to watch.
They just announced Princess Diaries 3.
Oh, with Anne Hathaway?
Yes. I don't.
Is she going to be the aunt? The queen kind of thing?
She'd have to be. Julie Andrews wouldn't be coming back, surely.
Is she still alive?
Yes. So is Dick Van Dyke. Like, they could still do Mary Poppins 3.
Oh, my God. Why
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Step in time.
Very slowly.
Yeah. It'd be fucking great.
Do you know sweep the cobwebs? Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say, now that it's... I got caught up looking at your notes.
Yeah. What's next? What's next?
No, we've got some songs that you've picked that I believe are actually related to Mr. Waller, or one.
Yeah, I know they're both related to him, but one's from a particular movie we were talking about before, which I realised we haven't announced to the people, so it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Can I ask, will Smash Mouth be making an appearance on the show?
No, just because I detest the song that you're referring to so badly. I can't bring myself to listen to it in an edit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I totally get why, especially after the Shrek movies, there's a lot of hate for Smash Mouth, and the lead singer's kind of not actually. It's not really his fault. He was he was baited at those events by arseholes. But usually, as a performer, you're kind of supposed to rise above it, but he just wouldn't do it. But that first song that came out, that was the big hit here in Australia anyway.
Is it Walking on the Sun?
Walking on the Sun.
Yeah.
Like, every now and then, it'll pop up on Spotify or something, and I fucking love it. It's just fucking... It's like... It's... Even at the time, I remember thinking it was kind of like a Coke ad jingle.
Yep.
Like, it was just like a real earwig.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was, I would like to buy the world a Coke, or what's the one from Coca-Cola Kid? I don't want to go where there's no Coca-Cola.
Who is that?
That's Split Ends. It was
that's right.
Tim Finn. And the guy, who's the guy who used to be the music director on Channel 7, John Lim.
Yep.
Was in the band and stuff at the time. It's a fucking cracker of a song.
Look at my computer. Look what I'm doing. I'm adding it to the Spotify playlist simply because we've spoken about it and you love it, and you can now just go. I mean, you could just listen to it anyway.
Now I can do it. I can just do it myself. Yeah, I just fucking love it.
But no, there are two songs related to Anthony Waller films. We'll talk about them soon. But anyway, that stuff's out of the way. You have some exciting news. For
everybody. Look, now that Halloween, I do have a bit of a bone to pick.
Oh, no.
Not talking about the boneheads, but now that Halloween is done, it's time, and we don't have Thanksgiving, thankfully. It's time
for Mariah
to start
Carey
thinking about Christmas.
Okay.
And I refuse to do it before Halloween.
Yep.
And to be honest, I don't actually give really two shits about Christmas. But what I do give two shits about is the Hallmark Christmas movie season.
We both do give a shit about that. But what you're doing to me here is breaking my own little oath in that I promise myself every year I don't start my Christmas binge until December.
Till December. Well, this is the bone, because technically, like, you have to start it early, because this year Hallmark are releasing a staggering 47 films for the Christmas period. 47 films, but that's not all. There's also 2 TV series and a reality show called Finding Mr. Christmas, the first episode of which aired on Halloween night, where it's like a competition where they have like 5 or 6 guys, all actors, who are competing to be the next Hallmark hunk, as they're called.
Oh my God.
And will star in a film that apparently has already been shot. And I'm not too sure if that means that they've done the reality show, like they decide internally, and there's no audience vote component. I'm not quite 100% sure on the format, or they're just going to insert his scenes into the final film. But the final film that he's going to be in airs on the 21st of December, and co-stars Jessica Lowndes from 90210.
Okay. So what I want to know is, like, what are we talking about here? What is it you want to present to the show?
Well, I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to try and do 47? All 47 films. I've watched one so far. It was a cracker called Christmas Charade, which is fantastic. It stars the girl who was Black Canary in the old Birds of Prey TV series, and she is what I love about these two, like, if you're a fan of TV like I am, or a fan of like low budget films, you're familiar with the fact that a lot of LA productions shoot in Vancouver because it's cheap.
Yep.
And then you always see the same actors popping up, like Stargate, all those science fiction shows, all of the Home is Where the Heart Is, all of that kind of stuff. And you see the same character actors populate. And all of those character actors also appear in multiple Hallmark movies. Amazing. And this one was full of them, including, who's the guy who plays, we talk about him a lot, his Pin in Pinhead.
David Hewitt.
David Hewitt. David Hewitt's sister had a cameo playing David Hewitt's sister in Stargate Atlantis. She is in this film.
Very cool.
And it's about this, like, it's a dowdy librarian who dreams of adventure and then ends up having to, through a case of mistaken identity on a blind date, becomes a FBI agent's partner on a jewelry sting. It was thoroughly enjoyable.
I mean, firstly, are there any, like, amongst these 47, are there at least any Thanksgiving themed ones that ease you into it?
No, but what they've not, as far as I can tell, like, they're all like, so.
Don't read them out now, like.
But they're all like, 'Twas the Date Before Christmas, Holiday Crashes, Christmas with the Singes,
amazing,
Jingle Bell Rum.
Well, I hope you can include me in some of this. I'm looking forward to watching these. I'll break my oath.
There's the beauty of this is because these here, like, so there's about 30 standard Hallmark movies, but then there's like another 11 or whatever of the Hallmark Mysteries Christmas movies.
Far out.
Including all of the series that they do, those
empire.
established franchises and stuff. It is, these guys are
so
they're fucking around.
Strap in, people. I suspect we have ourselves an event segment series.
A Christmas event.
Oh, incredible. The Good Movie Monday Christmas event. What are we going to call it? Next week we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Far out. I'm
Good,
excited.
Good Movie Monday goes Hallmark. We've been talking about a spin-off podcast for quite a while. I wonder if there's going to be enough in here just to split it off like the videos, like we do with the segment videos.
Oh, it's already in mind. Look out! Look out! We've got ourselves another playlist on the old YouTubes.